Hello, hello there. Jenny Bowling here with Pivot to Prosperity, brought to you by Pivotal Real Estate Investments, where we help investors build wealth and income through commercial real estate that also improves communities. And today we have Jesse Trujillo. Did I say that right?
Yes, that's close. Yep.
Close. I should have practiced first. I say this all the time.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, though, Jesse. I would like to read your bio. You have quite the story, and I think this will help to make things a little more concise as we talk through here. Jesse is a paradigm of resilience and determination. As a motivational speaker, real estate investor, and the founder, CEO of all the I want to say Ajax,
Yeah.
AJX companies, Jesse embodies the spirit of transforming his pain from profound adversity into profitable venture. His journey from bankruptcy and wrongful imprisonment to establishing an 8-figure real estate investment empire within 5 years is not just inspiring, it's a testament to the power of unwavering perseverance and self-belief. Speaking to crowds nationally, he shares insights on flipping pain to profit, embracing risks, and the importance of determination and persistence in overcoming life's hurdles. As a residential real estate and apartment investor, he has amassed over 788 doors in his rental portfolio within 5 years, worth over $100 million in market value, and has been instrumental in purchasing close to 1,000 flips and rental properties since 2010. His journey from a net worth of 0 to over 15 million in a span of 5 years is nothing short of remarkable. True. Jesse's expertise isn't just in building wealth, it's in sharing it. Through AJX Capital, he aids busy professionals in creating passive income via recession-resistant real estate investments. His approach is grounded in integrity, transparency, and a deep commitment to delivering value with every investment. His knowledge in funding, structuring deals, and project management makes him an invaluable partner. That's a great write-up there, Jesse. So what
Thank
were
you.
you thinking about as I was reading that? What would you like to say beyond this here?
It's about sharing my story and helping everyone realize that, it's you just got to push yourself, persevere, right? Perseverance is huge. And I hear that in my life, and that's what's gotten me to where I'm at, right? It's about not giving up and really pushing forward, to make sure you just hit your goals.
And so you have kids. I've had the privilege of meeting your son. We were at an event here in Orlando not long ago, and so yeah, tell us about your family and how that all worked. The imprisonment part and all that is crazy to come back from that so fast and to 0 to 15 million. Talk a little about that, would you?
Yeah, just really, overall, it was a long journey, all right, and it was something that kind of came unexpectedly, right? We had sold some properties in 2008, in 2012. They're knocking on my door, arresting me, and pretty much letting us know that we had 2 properties that we had sold. A lender that had bought them. He said he had some clients for them, and ended up being stolen identities, and we had no clue. But he had asked me for help on renting them without me knowing, because they were going to do property management on them, and that's how they included me. Kind of
Guilty by association, pretty much.
100%, and that's what it was. And I was hopeful to kind of prove that obviously we had no connection there, because they were doing it in other counties in California. And then later we find out, I hired an attorney. It was a friend of mine, and he was there to, hopefully help me out. And he said he could prove my innocence, no problem. That don't worry, you just keep working. Long story short, kind of comes back and, he kind of pushes me into signing a plea, because he said they were threatening to bring in some family members that were on, that owned the properties with me at the time before we sold them. And, said, but don't worry, well, I'll prove your innocence. Long story short, get to the arraignment, and the judge, as much as he was questioning my decision to signing this plea, looked at my attorney, and he pretty much said, He nodded his head that yes, just keep moving forward. And he ended up sentencing me at that moment to 5 years in prison. Kind of caught us off guard. Didn't say goodbye to my kids. Didn't say goodbye to my wife. Didn't put any personal things in order. And we ended up finding out a couple months later that this attorney was actually money laundering for the Mexican mafia, and he got arrested and he ended up going to federal prison for 5 years. This is all during the time that he was supposed to be working on my case. So put a lot of trust in him, and we ended up getting duped. So kind of ended up going to prison for not the right reasons. Kind of scared me into it, and he never proved my innocence to anyone. So I came out and pushed, and I guess my story is kind of like how we mentioned, right? I came back and I pushed myself to make sure that my kids and my family and my wife would never be in a situation that we were in, like just of unexpected, not having any money, right? So I went all out and I persevered, and I just came back with a vengeance, and I worked really hard. And within 5 years, I took us from pretty much broke to $15 million net worth. And a lot of it was buying rentals, right? Buying things that I can that I really just believe in, focused in. And my goal right now is showing my kids. So my kids actually go with me to events, and they're actually learning the business. Whether they end up doing it, not sure, but at least they know how to do it, right? I believe in passive income, how important it is. And if I can teach them that, that's kind of my goal. I mean, they're 14 and 15 years old, and they're learning how to underwrite apartments. So I'm a proud dad for sure.
For sure. Yes. Yes. Your son is a good kid. I can vouch for that for sure.
Thank you.
So, and another thing is you didn't let an injustice define you. You rose above.
100%.
You were able to not only find power when you were down, but you didn't let it define you. So that's huge. And surely it's a lesson for your kids as well. So as you got started, I believe that was with flips and whatnot. Were you when you say with vengeance, were you working with wholesalers? Were you finding these deals yourself, or what were you just super good at flipping and making money on the investment part of it there?
Yeah. I mean, all the above. We work with wholesalers, we work with real estate agents. I mean, I made sure, I don't, believe it or not, I didn't use any marketing money. Like my only marketing was my time. It's really about your time and your relationships and your word. Like I would go out there and I just started meeting with wholesalers and agents. I would be upfront with them where we're at in the beginning. And we went from from 0 properties to almost 80 flips here in San Diego alone, within 2 years. So we were going pretty fast. Again, I was so hungry and determined to succeed that I say the saying, right, about determination. Determination doesn't ask for permission. You just got to go do it. So it's not asking permission for anyone of how to get there, right? It's just getting it done and realizing your goal and making sure you get there.
And you're in San Diego?
I am in San Diego, based out of San Diego, but we're actually in 5 markets for flipping, and then buying in Sunbelt states throughout the United States.
That's great. Yeah. But now San Diego is not a cheap place to be playing. That's where you started though, right?
That's correct.
So what's the typical price you were paying when you got started? Do you know roughly? Do you remember?
Oh, I remember back in the day, high-end homes before the crash were 600,000 to 800,000. Now that's entry level pricing in San Diego. So, kind of interesting to see the growth.
I do have a brother and nieces there. I love San Diego. Anyway, very good. Well, and now you said you are scaling into apartments as well, or not scaling, you already have. You're into several apartments. Go ahead and talk about your first apartment purchase.
Yeah, well, the first one actually was here in San Diego. I kind of wanted to get my feet wet, and it was a 23 unit. Bought about just right around 2.6 million, I believe, is what we paid for it. And we worked it. We owned it for about, really close to about 5 years. We just sold it this last year, actually, and definitely went full cycle on it, and I loved it. I mean, it just showed me the power, how powerful it is to have all units in one spot, and building the teams around it, and having great property management to help you kind of get to your goal on that side. So that was the first one, and then we just kept growing into more and more. We have about 580 at the moment.
That's terrific. Now, that first one, did you do syndication or was that just a joint venture? I heard you say you brought in a team. You made it, created.
Yeah, no, and more team, like just of when I say team, it could be just obviously from the contractors to the property management, everything, right? Everything that it takes to get it to the stabilized moment. No, but we bought that by ourselves. We bought that just with me, and maybe I think you could kind of consider it a joint venture. It was me and one other money partner that we bought it together.
Nice, nice. Okay. And so now you have, did you say 5 apartment projects?
No, we have a total of 11. It's about 580 rental apartment units.
Gotcha. Okay. And so what age bracket are you aiming for in your buy box?
Um,
The vintage.
in the beginning, I was just kind of seeing what's out there, right? Getting to know. But now that we've really focused, I think we're focusing on really 1980s and newer is kind of our buy box currently on most of our properties.
I see. And San Diego, I'm trying to remember, do you have air conditioning there? Not much,
we,
right?
we do, but not. I mean, not really. I mean, it's kind of a commodity. It's not really been needed, depending on where you're at in San Diego with the coastal breezes.
Right, right. Well, yeah, and that's such a regional thing. I'm in Florida where everybody really wants air conditioning. So,
Right.
as far as well, so if you're buying in the 80s, then you're not having to deal with flat roofs much or some of those nuances that most people are really back and forth about, right? Do
Yeah,
you-
I mean, we've had a mix, especially with everything we've done. We've had a mix of different types, but I think we're trying to we've learned which ones are more a little more of a headache and a little more work, and we're trying to kind of focus on the ones that we know we could just really get in and out or get it stabilized a lot faster.
True, true. That's right. You had yeah, you probably do have a lot of flat roofs there because of the Spanish influence, right?
Correct. Correct.
Yeah, but you don't have the water we do here in Florida.
Oh, very true.
Yeah, so it's a problem here.
Yeah.
So when you're doing your renovations usually, are you getting into windows and the heavy duty type renovation, or are you trying to buy something that's more quick to turn around?
On our apartments, we're trying to do quick renovations. We will do windows if needed, but we typically won't if they're in good condition.
Yeah.
Very different than our fix and flips, right? Our fix and flips, we will change out the windows almost 90% of the time. With apartments, it just really goes to see what's typical in the area, right? What's other apartments, where are they at? I mean, are they functional? Are they working? Is it standard? So just kind of every apartment building is case by case, and we're looking at everything to make our decision.
And so with you being in 5 markets, you said that you do, before we came on the recording, have boots on the ground in all those places too. Want to touch on building teams, your approach, and how you've been able to do that?
Yeah, when we expanded during COVID, we started going to other markets. I went from San Diego to Jacksonville, almost across the country, and it was a learning lesson, and it's really about building teams. So we're currently in 5 markets in Jacksonville, Tampa, Nashville, and San Antonio and San Diego, and we have boots on the ground every single market. And it's something that we've noticed it's needed for it to work, and really just you're hiring people, getting to know people, and it's not easy, right? So sometimes you're hiring and firing, but when you find those right people that you end up keeping, oh man, it's just amazing. It's day and night. It's almost, you become unstoppable of what you can do with the right team. So it's some, it's not easy. I can't make it seem like you're going to hire the first person that's going to be perfect. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but know that the good people are out there, and once you find them, it's just so valuable to keep them happy and grow with them, right? And that's what's allowed us to grow so quickly and throughout these markets that we're in.
So how are you finding the people you want to actually do the renovations when you are in like a place across the country?
Yeah, I mean, for our fix and flips in the markets that we're in, I mean, that's us literally are my boots on the ground are meeting contractors left and right, doing
Yeah.
their due diligence, even just trying to find them, right? Asking around and once we find them, give them a shot on the property and see how they do. And if they work out great, we keep using. If they don't, we move on to the next one. So
You don't have a method when you're dealing across the country?
yeah, well, I mean, I mean, when we're I mean, that's for our and our other markets across state. But like when we do apartments, we work a lot with the right property management companies. I can tell you that has been the biggest aha for us is making sure you have the right property management company. And a lot of these property management companies, they already have crews for you, so we don't actually have to go look for many crews ourselves because they already have them. So finding that right property management that already has those crews in the areas that you're in, and just confirming pricing, that has made it really easy for us to
Yeah,
buy
that's the
apartments.
secret sauce there, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right. I'm pretty entrenched with the local apartment association here in Orlando, and then on a statewide level, and that carries into the national level. Right now is when a lot of legislative issues are going on. And last year I was involved going up to Tallahassee and campaigning. They were trying to do rent controls here. I don't know if you were aware of that, but so we were meeting with legislators and talking about how bad that would be.
Right.
And so that was on the statewide level. And then after that, the national one will be it's again next month on the DC
Oh wow.
trips. But anyway, yeah, no, that's a really great thing, and not enough people really think about these property management companies that are syndicators, in my opinion. I think that the management companies can be a lot of help. Um, so as far as the whole family mix, do you have your kids involved with doing some renovations too?
Not necessarily, right? I mean, they're both in high school and
Yeah.
it's tough, right? They still got their teenage, things they do. They play sports, they're, with their friends. So I try to balance it. I'm trying to do as much as if it were up to me, they'd be all in with the business. But I want them to be kids. My son still plays video games and then he's running deals sometimes in the afternoon. So it's so cool to see the little bit of mix. Right now I have him really focused on looking for the deals, understanding why they're good, understanding why we want to pass on certain deals. I think that's huge, right? Because sometimes people get excited and they'll buy something with the advice of someone else and not knowing, that person's just trying to make a commission, sadly, sometimes, and you end up buying something that's not a good fit. That's not actually a moneymaker. So I'm
Right.
trying to teach them that first. And then kind of the power of teams, having it's same thing what I just said, right? Like even for them, are they really going to be go hitting the hammer across the United States on the rental? No, they're going to hire the right people, but how do they find them? Right, working with that right property management company, checking what your insurances are, like make sure you're getting different quotes. I think I'm that's my main focus with them right now. And then as we get the deals, when they were kids, they would go to see these properties all the time here in San Diego. We'd literally go on Sundays and drive around and look at all our properties, whether fixed up or in the middle of it, and go through the construction site and make them understand. So they've had a lot of history of it, and I think now they're getting to see, well, why do we even buy it, right? Why is this a good deal? And I think that's kind of their next path right now.
That's great. Yeah. Yeah. Well, so anything else you would like to add?
No, I mean, I just think, I share my story of, kind of again pushing through. If there's one person on here that is thinking about quitting, in the middle of a bad spot, maybe about a bad deal or being involved in some type of project that they're not happy with, like I just tell them just keep pushing through. Real estate's an amazing avenue for especially for passive income and for building your wealth. And so it's hard sometimes. Know that I've gone through it, even though yes, we've hit some great milestones, but it's never easy, right? You just got to keep pushing through and align yourself with the right people to get there.
Right. Now, I forgot to tell you, I always ask whoever I'm interviewing if there was a pivotal person or event that happened to put you where you are today or where you're going. And so I ask you, is there a pivotal person or event that you would identify?
Yes, and first person that comes to mind is one of my investors. His name is Mike, and I've known him for years, and we've become friends over the years. He's invested with us on hundreds of flips, and I saw the way he invests in passive income and how he enjoys life. And I think when I really got to meet him and we ended up becoming friends, hearing him tell me enjoy life, not to forget to enjoy life. We could work really hard, and I think a lot of us are go-getters and we work hard, but don't forget to enjoy life. And I think that's what's changed my projection. He also gives back a lot, and so we've started giving back to two foundations over the last couple of years too. So the joy that that brings me and bringing my family into that, like we've gone to build some homes in Mexico for some foundations and mission trips, and I think that's just changed the way we think. Right, we're working hard to live a great life, but we're also giving back. And I think that was a pivotal moment for me, him sharing that with me and getting in my head of what was my reasoning on really doing this, and where's my end goal. Because I feel sometimes how much is enough, and money, making money. It's kind of a, everyone has their own answer for that, but for me, like, I'm a frugal guy. Like, we live in a great spot, and why not give back if we can, if we can, right? Help some other people because we're so privileged, and share it with others. So
Well, that's great. That's great. Okay. Well, Jesse, why don't you tell people how they can get in touch with you?
yeah, that'd be great. If anyone wants to reach out to us, they can want to talk about what they can invest with us with, or bring us deals for our flips and or apartments. You just go to investwithjesse.com, set up a time with me or my team, and we'd love to talk to you and go over what we have available.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you again. And we'll put all that in the show notes too. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeannie. Appreciate it.